here is some Werewolf 101. Over time, werewolves learn to completely control their physical form. They can stop their eyes from flashing in photographs. They can alter their smell, and eventually, if they're fully balanced in mind and body, they can fully shift into a wolf. As we saw with Scott in the early episodes, it was a constant struggle to control the shift. This is true of both made werewolves like Liam and born werewolves like Derek. The writers made it obvious again and again that staying in control and mostly human in appearance is the goal for all good werewolves, because only bad werewolves lose control of the shift. Peter was the original monster of Teen Wolf, and since he showed up looking like 8 feet of grrr, everybody just assumed that was what alphas looked like. That's when the myth of the alpha form in Teen Wolf fandom was born. But just like Omega Eyes and the Demon Wolf, the Teen Wolf alpha form isn't really a thing. It's just not. Werewolves that look like this are completely out of control. In Peter's case, he had 6 years of rage and pain all built up, and he almost completely lost his mind. Peter was not in control of anything, and his body reflected that by twisting into a monstrous mad wolf. And this total loss of control isn't restricted to alphas. The Beast of Gévaudan is an Omega, and from the very start, he was so out of his mind and evil that his form was even less in control than Peter's was. Instead of alpha form, what you're looking at here is a psycho form, or wolf madness. Since we never saw the Beast when he wasn't crazy, Peter is actually the only good example of the difference between being in control or out of control.
All right, boys. Let's rumble.
Once Peter died and came back, he was far more reasonable and in control. He was still a bad guy, but he was thinking clearly and was able to maintain a more human form. The next time he came close to losing it was in Season 4 in his confrontation with Scott, when all those feelings of betrayal and madness began to come to the surface again.
For my family's power to be rightfully inherited by me.
You can see in this scene his face went a little more monstrous. We saw the same thing happen to Scott earlier in the season when he was about to lose his shit on that hunter. His face became less and less human until he reined in his emotions.